the characterizations.
You there.
Hi there.
Come over here. I'm beyond help. The potions do nothing. And I don't have much time. I just need to tell you something. Stendar, he plants these images in my head. He shows me secrets. Made me come here. Something terrifying. Deep in the earth beneath the city. Powerful. And evil. I went down into the tunnels to destroy it. But the energy, it seeps into your bones. Please. Please, you must find a way to get down there. And finish what I...
I hear you did this. Hello, dear. Oh my, it's very nice of you to take an interest in my life, dear. But you don't need to humor an old woman. Really? Well, you're the first person in the city to say that. Well, let's see. These days I mostly just sweep the streets here, keep them clean. Cleanliness is next to godliness, or so they say. It's not very inspiring, as you can imagine, but the alternative is to wind up like poor Dooley. Oh, you haven't met him yet? Don't worry, I'm sure he'll introduce himself to you sooner or later. He's homeless. He lives in a cave by the lake. I feel sorry for him. I think most of us do. But ever since his brother died, he's been obsessing over some long-lost treasure. The Jarl decided because he can't work, he doesn't deserve to live in a house like the rest of us. So he lives in a tent in a cave of sorts. But don't let him drag you into it. I'm quite sure it's imaginary. A great loss can do terrible things to a person's mind. Well, anyway, that's about all there is about me to tell, I'm afraid. I'm not very interesting. Well, the most important thing in my life is prayer. So let me ask you, have you found room in your heart for Mara, the Mother Goddess? Oh, I see how it is. Well, there may not be room in your heart for Mara, but there's always room in Mara's heart for you. I'll pray for you. See you another time, then.
Hello there, young lady. You look nice. Well, it's a sad one. But I don't mind telling it. Name's Golvar. I'm a farmer. Always was. Grew up on a farm near Whiterun. It was a good life. Fresh milk and eggs every day. Running around the farm barefoot with my brother and sisters. Never even had to lock our doors. One day, when I was about 18, my father and I were carting some produce into the market when we saw a group of strangers in the top field. My father told me to run back to the house and get his axe. So I did. I ran so fast I almost threw up. But by the time I got back, it was too late. I found him dead by the side of the road. The cart and all our produce was gone. That was the first time I learned about bandits. My mother passed soon after, and I took over the farm. Now I'm as good a farmer as any, and better than most, but things went downhill from there. The raiding started before long. I'd come outside at dawn and find a few chickens missing. Next it was a cow, then 2 cows. That was the first time in 5 generations my family started locking its doors at night. We knew the guards from Whiterun weren't going to help us. One night, when we had nothing left to steal, there was a knock at the door. I knew who it was and what they wanted. I took my father's axe and pulled the door open real quick. Before he knew it, that bandit had my father's axe right down the middle of his skull. But there were more of them. I never saw how many, because the next thing I knew I was waking up with a mouth full of dirt and lungs full of smoke. My home was burned to rubble. My family slaughtered like cattle. And they left me alive to see what they'd done. It still burns whenever I think about it. Well, at least I got one of the bastards. Cleaved that grin of his right in half. Sometimes it helps me get to sleep at night. Sometimes. Anyhow, after that I drifted some. Took odd jobs around Falkreath. But nothing seemed to work out. And then I guess I got desperate. I started taking things. Just small things. Carrots and cabbages. Just enough to survive. I wasn't proud of it. And then one day, I watched myself break into some guy's farmhouse and help myself to his things. And I guess I realized what I'd become. Next thing I knew, I was looking for a place to die. And I found the entrance to this place. And that shaft. and I started my life over again. Well, I'm a farmer, but the land I work isn't mine. Metellus had declared himself Jarl and claimed all the farmland before I got here. I'm not. All I've ever wanted is to make a living by working the land. But it seems someone always has to go and steal the fruits of my labor. That bloody Jarl. He's no better than the bandits who destroyed my life. Only difference is he uses words instead of weapons. But he'll get his. One day. Just do me a favor and keep that last part to yourself, would you? See you around.
I hear you're handy in a fight. Hello, neighbor. My story? Oh, not much to tell, love. I just work the land, make sure we've got enough food for everyone. Can't afford to run out here, you know? It's hard work. Probably harder than being Jarl, but I don't mind it. Keeps me active as I'm getting on a bit. And I sleep soundly every night. No, love. I don't think he works hard at all. And I'd say the same to his face if I ever saw him. But he's always hiding up there in his citadel, doing... You know what? I'm not even sure what he does. I know he doesn't keep order. We've got the dwarves' law for that. But live and let live, I say. Long as I have a roof over my head and food on my table, and good neighbors like Gulvar, I can't complain. Bye for now.
Hey, you're the one who killed all those bandits, aren't you? Gods, what a nightmare that must have been. What do you want with me?
Ah, the bandit slayer.
Can I help you
Good
with
to
something?
see you.
I don't see why I should share it with you. So my wife disappears a couple of weeks ago, and now everybody thinks I know a way out of here. I wish you idiots would just leave me alone. Well, she's not here anymore. That's all I know. How should I know where she went? I woke up one morning and she was just gone. Didn't say goodbye, didn't take anything with her. And now you people won't stop harassing me, judging me, asking me questions like you think I had something to do with it. Well, I didn't. And nobody cares that I've lost my wife. They just love a bit of scandal, or to find out how they can get out of here too. You're all animals. I swear, I didn't hurt her. I would never. I love her. And if I'd known she was leaving, I would have gone with her. I honestly don't know anything. I keep going over it in my head. Did someone kill her? Surely that would have broken the dwarves' law. Maybe she went wandering into the underground tunnels, or into the palace, and never found her way out. But why would she leave in the night? Not that it's any of your business, but no, I don't think so. She was loyal, I think. She used to write me love letters. I still have one, somewhere. But even if she'd been seeing someone, she couldn't have kept it a secret in a place this small. Rustacia would have known about it for sure. See you later.
Ah, there she is. Greetings. Such a pretty thing. Yes, my friend. My story. Well, my name is Degland, and I'm a merchant, yeah? But people say to me, Degland, they say, Degland, why are you a merchant? They find it surprising because I'm such an honest and trustworthy person. And sometimes you hear about your merchants who are, you know, dishonest. Well, I say to those people, I'm not like them. My father used to say to me, Degland, you can't be like the others. You be a good boy. And I was, my friend. I was not only just a good boy, I was the best boy. The best boy now and the best merchant with the best prices for you. Until next time.
Everybody's talking about how you killed those looters. Well done.
I heard you took care of some looters for us. Nobody here locks their door, except the Jarl. I hear there's a locked room on the top floor of the Citadel, but nobody's seen what's inside. You want to hear about little old me? Aren't you adorable? But wouldn't you rather hear what I know about everyone else around here? Go on. Ask me. Only one way out of this city, and that's through the bottom of a mug of moonshine, if you get me. Solve all your problems. At least for a while. But then again, some folks will overdo it. Ulrin, the Dunmer fellow, can't miss him. Hit the drinks pretty hard after his wife, Maisie, disappeared. Just sits there, night after night. Poor guy. Wish I knew what happened to her. Caught lots of people talking, but nobody seems to know anything. Odd. Take a good look. See anything you like? Come and visit. Again, anytime you like.
I'm a little busy, but what do you need?
Remember, when in doubt, aim for the crotch. Don't worry. Me. I'm in best shape of a Slode's life.
Hello, neighbor. I understand we have you to thank for dispensing with some would-be looters. So, thank you.
Oh, hello there! I'm a Breton from Hyrak. I've studied history at the Imperial City, which led me to Skyrim in search of Dwemer ruins. And now I'm here. Some days I just can't believe my luck. Working with Brawl, researching the richest source of Dwemer history and technology I could have imagined. I feel like we're on the brink of some amazing discoveries about the Dwemer. Who knows? Maybe we'll find not all of them have disappeared. I could, but Brawl knows much more than I do. You should really talk to him. Ask him any question you have. He's amazingly knowledgeable. A way out of here? Are you kidding? Why would I want to get out of here? I can't think of a single place in all Tamriel I'd rather be. Now that you mentioned it, I do. I need you to get something for me, and it won't be easy. I've tried everything I can think of, and still nothing. There's a big Nord living down in the city called Rikus. You may have seen him walking around in an immaculate example of Dwarven armor. I need that armor. It's the only one like it, and I believe it to be crucial in unlocking the secret of this place. The trouble is, before I could get a good look at it, that brute Rikas claimed it as his own, and has been wearing it ever since. I've tried everything. Appeals to his better nature, flattery, charm, even threats. It's like negotiating with a brick wall. The only thing I haven't tried is violence, and you know how that would end. But I'm convinced there's a way to get it. There has to be. Thank you. If you do manage to get it, you're welcome to keep it. I just need to have a quick look at it, that's all.
Hello, neighbor. My story? What a strange question. You presuppose that my life is a simple linear sequence of events which can be summed up in a verbal narrative? Well, that's nonsense, of course. First, most of it was so long ago I barely remember. Second, you would have to assume that the account I give you is biased heavily in my favor, and is therefore quite unreliable. And finally, my story is really much less interesting than this mysterious place. Now, do you have any sensible questions, or can I get back to work? Well, why didn't you say so? I researched Dwarven history and technology, and I'm originally from Kragenmoor in Morrowind. Any other questions? That is the sun under the ground. Or at least that's how it's referred to in the Dwarven text we've managed to translate. I must confess, I haven't the faintest idea of how it works. But it seems to be giving us light and allowing us to grow crops, even under the ground. Of course, if it ever stops glowing, for whatever reason, we'll all be in quite a lot of trouble. But don't concern yourself with such dark thoughts. I'm sure we have nothing to worry about. Ah, yes. Most Dwarven armor you see these days is quite badly worn, but this piece is still perfect, after thousands of years. It also seems to have some magical properties. It should protect you from the harmful energy down in the tunnels below the city. It all but killed Brandis when he went down there, but he didn't have a full set. If you can get down there safely, let me know what you discover. Now that's an interesting question. I personally don't know any way out, no. However, I have a theory. It's more of a hypothesis, really. My thinking is that if there was a way out of here, the dwarves who built this place must have known about it. True, but we can learn all sorts of things about them from what they left behind. Inscriptions, architecture, relics, statues. And while I've discovered many things here, there are some parts of the city I haven't been able to get to. I'm most interested in the palace, above the lake. Unfortunately, it's sealed up tight. Only one man ever managed to enter, and he never came out. That was Narnabas, and we haven't heard from him in years. Strange fellow. I believe he was looking for the secrets of the dwarves too. If you could find a way in there, I'm sure it would tell us a great deal about this place. Who knows what secrets we could uncover. Well, the dwarves who built this city left inscriptions in the citadel, which translate to, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." My research leads me to believe that if a single member of our community sins, it'll trigger an event, killing us all. I believe such an event occurred some years ago, which is why Metellus found the city littered with burnt corpses. But to this day, there are many questions we simply don't have answers for. How is the dwarves' law still being enforced? How does it work? And we may never know, as long as nobody attacks or steals from anybody else. Until we know more, we all need to be on our best behavior. Time travel. You know, as it happens, I do. It was a great obsession of mine for years after my wife passed. I thought if I could go back, I gave up on that idea a long time ago. But recently the Jarl has asked to see my research notes. How strange that you should now take an interest too. Can I ask what the nature of your interest is in this unusual subject? I don't quite know what to say to that. How can I put this charitably? Perhaps you're tired and emotional and need some rest. But I always enjoy discussing my theories with a receptive mind, so I'll humor you. What did you want to ask? For argument's sake, if you found yourself in that position, you'd have only two options. To live out your days in the past, or force a paradox. A paradox, you see, would involve changing the past so as to prevent the events which caused you to travel back in time in the first place. But you'd be taking a big risk by doing that. Who knows what the consequences would be? Some say that whatever you do, it will lead you right back to the future that took you back in time in the first place. An eternal loop, if you will. But me, I believe that creating a paradox should fling you back to your original time, having changed the past for you and everyone else. Well, let's say for argument's sake that you really have traveled here from the future. You could create a paradox in a few different ways. Essentially, you could do anything that would remove your means or motivation to return to the past. For example, you came here to achieve some goal. Achieving that goal would mean you will never have been motivated to come here. A paradox. Or, if the thing that allowed you to travel back in time is still here, as a past version of itself, you could simply destroy it, I suppose. That would mean, of course, that you will never have been able to travel back in time. Another paradox. But doing so could have terrible consequences. But if you really are from the future, as unlikely as that is, telling me or anybody else what happens next could have disastrous consequences too. I think it's best if we talk about something else. Farewell. Come back if you think of any questions.
Yes. Alright then.
Am I supposed to be impressed? Shadow hide you.
Oh, a new person. Well, welcome to... I'm Lukey. I'm what passes for an alchemist and healer around here. I'll be honest, I don't much care for dealing with people, or healing them, but I wouldn't trust anyone else around here with the responsibility, and I guess somebody's gotta do it, right? Oh, don't get me wrong, it's not that I don't like my neighbors. I don't like anyone. Stupid, untrustworthy, selfish, ugly creatures we humans are. But you know what? At least down here, people are on their best behavior most of the time, what with the dwarves' law and all. I mean, people are still bastards, but at least they have to be discreet about it. Nobody's openly violent, and nobody's ever stolen anything from me. Yes, what about him? Oh, I see. Poor Brandis. At least he's no longer suffering. And let that be a lesson to anyone thinking of entering the tunnels under the city. He came here with his partner, full of big talk about how Stendar sent them to purge some great evil from beneath the city. Now, none of us know exactly what's down there. But if there is a great evil, then it made the mighty Stendar look like a milk drinker. All I know is nobody with half a brain should go down there, not without a way to protect themselves from the energy that killed poor Brandis. There isn't one. This place is like a firefly trap. One way in, no way out. Could be worse, though. You could be living in bloody Skyrim. Fine, just walk away.
Miranda told me you cut down those looters before they breached the city gates. Well done, my friend. Welcome to I'm Habik. I live out back with my wife, Miranda. We used to live in solitude, but, we had to leave. Found this place by accident, like most. The Jarl needed someone to mind the store. So I volunteered. Doesn't make any money, of course. Not enough customers. The Jarl says he likes to keep us busy and out of trouble. But of course, he and all his cronies in the Citadel never seem to lift a finger. Our son was working at my stables outside the city. He was alone when he had a visit from some Imperial, a cousin of the High King. This Imperial thought he'd just take one of the horses as a tithe. Guess he didn't think a 12-year-old boy was going to stop him. But Limar wouldn't stand for it. And as the thief rode off, my son managed to shoot an arrow into his shoulder. But I wasn't there at the time. I came back from the market to find my son's body, trampled in the dirt. It was... I can't begin to describe it. I was shattered. I went straight to Torig's court and demanded justice. But I guess that word doesn't mean much to an Imperial. Instead, he seized my stables and told me if I ever set foot in Solitude again, my wife and I would end up the same way as Limar. So we left. Wandered Skyrim for a while, and eventually wound up here. I was hoping this place would be better. I was wrong. All right. Only the finest clothes in town. saw my notice then. What about it? Thank you. The ring belonged to my son, Limar. He wore it everywhere. He told me it was a gift from a strange wood elf he met in the forest once. It was the only thing I had to remind me of him. But a while ago, I dropped it down the stairs in my shop, and it rolled under a door at the bottom. The trouble is, I've never been able to unlock the door, or work out what's down there. But I'm sure it's possible, because I hear noises down there. So I'll bet that somebody, somewhere in the city, knows a way down there. And who knows what else you'll find once you get in. See you again soon, I hope.
Hey!
Hi there.
I hear you dealt with those looters swiftly. Great work. Me? I'm Vernon, your friendly grocer and all-around nice guy. You want fresh food? You're in the right place. You want... Wait. Did you hear that? Oh, no. Someone just slid another letter onto my door. Could you, do me a favor and grab that before anyone else sees it? Well, look, I haven't done anything wrong, if that's what you're thinking. It's not as if I'm a vampire or a necromancer or anything. Somebody just has a problem with my preference for male company. Nothing gets by you, does it? Sorry, that was mean of me. Yes, I like men. And when you grow up in Windhelm like I did, you expect a bit of hostility. I saw enough friends attacked and driven away by angry Nords to know the cost of not keeping your personal affairs to yourself. So I hid who I was for... what was it? 20 years? Living in the barracks with a dozen other guardsmen, watching what I said and where I looked. But that kind of fear eats away at you slowly, until living isn't any better than the thing you were afraid of. And that's when I came clean. Needless to say, since I'm now living underground on the opposite corner of Skyrim, my openness didn't go well among the Nords of Windhelm. But at least down here, I get to be who I am. Or at least, I thought that was the case. Perhaps I was wrong. No, I don't. I keep my personal affairs to myself, and I've never really been interested in any of the men here. Not my type. It wouldn't usually bother me. I have a thick skin, and I can handle myself in a fight better than most. But if these threats keep getting worse, eventually my secret admirer is going to get violent and break the dwarves' laws. What? Really? I didn't expect that, but thanks. It's always a relief to meet someone who's so open-minded. I'm glad you're here. I'd start by working out who uses red ink, or... blood on their letters. Come back and let me know what you find. Any luck? What? You wouldn't believe how often the new ones ask that question. But I'll tell you the same thing I tell everyone else. There are much worse places to live out your days. You might have a few sleepless nights thinking about the dwarves' law. But once you get used to the fear, knowing that a single slip-up could cost you everything, it's not too bad. Nothing new to me, anyways. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. That's about all I know. You should go and talk to Broad in his chambers if you want to know more. Come back soon!
Hello, my friends.
Hello?
Quintus? No, there's no one by that name here. But if you're looking for an Imperial, I'd check the Citadel. That place is crawling with Imperials. If I did, but Ulrin's wife managed to escape a while back. He doesn't like to talk about it, but you might be able to get him to open up, I suppose.
Oh, hello. I wasn't following you. My what? My story? Oh, do you want to hear about me? I'm sorry, but my memory's not very good. I only remember some things. I came here with my brother Harrible. He used to look after me, and he said he always would. But then he died. Now nobody looks after me. I'm not very good at remembering things. Sometimes I forget, so I need help. That's why I need some help finding Harrible's treasure. Well, my brother told me before he died that he had left me something very precious in a secret chest. He hid it away just for me. I've asked the others for help, but they don't help me. The Yard even wrote me this letter, but I'm not very good with words. Here, do you think you could read it for me? Tell me what it says.
There's nothing more to say. Leave me. Powerful words. Powerful words.
Well, what does it say? You did? Oh, thank you. What does it say? What? No, that can't be right. My brother, he told me. He told me he left me a fortune. He wouldn't lie to me. Why would he lie to me? You'll help me, won't you? You'll help me find it, please. Thank you. All I know is that it's hiding somewhere in the city. And you need this rusty key. My brother gave it to me to unlock it. I can't. Sorry. I don't remember things so good. But he said it was hidden under the ground, a way out. Oh, no, I can't leave.
I need to find Haribo's treasure first.
Hello, neighbor. Bye for now.
Yes, my friend.
Oh, I'm so glad you decided to come see. There's something creepy about Marius up in the Citadel. Plus, he never comes down to the tavern. And you just can't trust a man who doesn't drink. Come and visit me again anytime you like.
Hello there, friend.
By the 8! I hear you took on a band of marauders by yourself, you buffoon. Next time, come and get me. I'll show 'em what for. Name's Castellus Vitus, military engineer of the Imperial Legion. Out of action right now, but don't worry, I'm still in the service. What about you? Now that's just the sort of cowardly nonsense I'd expect from a Stormcloak sympathizer. Off with you then. Go on. Well, I suppose you're right. But don't think that friendship will last if we ever get out of here. You understand that, right? If I did, I'd be up there, fighting the good fight for the Legion, and not stuck in this hole like an old bear during winter. Spit it out, then. Yes, well, not completely. A little. I think I understand the pipes that run all over the place. See, they mainly carry water. There's a single pipe on the top floor bringing water from outside the Citadel inside. Water then trickles down from each floor to the lake. But that's not all. It seems the water flowing through these pipes causes these gears to rotate. And when that happens, they somehow create light. The dwarves were brilliant engineers. I doubt I could hold a candle to them. Not that I would need to, with all the lights in this place. Jarl's got me working on repairs to the Citadel. This place was built to last, but it still needs an engineer's touch every now and then. Door hinges need to be oiled, cracks need to be patched up, and that bloody water pipe in the bathroom is constantly springing a leak. But it's a good idea to make yourself useful around here. No doubt the Jarl will make good use of your skills too, whatever those might be. Suspicious behavior, you say? Ah, so the Jarl has found a task for you, keeping tabs on us, Don't worry, your secret's safe with me, friend. Well, the Citadel's mainly full of good Imperial stock, so you don't have to worry too much about them. But now that you mention it, lately I've been wondering if the Citadel isn't haunted. Every now and then, mostly late at night, I swear I can hear a woman sobbing. I'll be damned if I know where it's coming from, but it's not Gaia next door, so who could it be but a ghost? Gods know a lot have died in here. Ah yes, my workshop. Well, of course, as an engineer through and through, I couldn't resist the urge to dismantle some of this dwarven technology. How complicated can it be, I thought. As it turns out, it's extremely complicated. You see these gleaming dwarven busts in every room? Well, I think I know what they are. They all seem to be connected to the pipes running all over the city and down the front of the Citadel. And I've seen these things before in other ruins, but these are different. Their eyes are glowing with blue light. Have you noticed? But whenever you see one of these things, remember, someone or something is watching everything you do, waiting for you to break the dwarves' law. Right you are.
Far too
Thought you held
important
back
to
an
be talking
invasion
to
all on
you.
your own.
So
That's
go
fine
about
work.
your business, please.
Well, I'd be lying if I said they're happy. But I'd also be lying if I said I cared. They're decent people and all. But they seem to have an hard time grasping that somebody around here's got to work the farms, or we all starve. Gulliver's the worst of the lot. Seems like a decent man at first, but he's got a temper on him. Once he told me he killed a man before he came here. He'll tell you, if you ask him. Of course, down here with the dwarves' law, a bad temper could land us all in a lot of trouble. I'd keep an eye on that one, if I were you. I wish. Seems like dwarves designed this place to keep folk in. But the only thing that keeps me sane is thinking there has to be a way out. My story? Well, I'm from Markarth originally. Started working at Kolskegga Mines as a lad. And after a while, the Silverbloods made me foreman. I was doing pretty well for myself, until somebody decided to knock me down the shaft into this place. I had a wife and son. Still up there, I suppose, though they probably think I'm long gone. But chin up, right? Meanwhile, I'm stuck down here, supervising workers to earn me keep, waiting for the day that I can get out of here and back to my life in Markarth. Alright, well, I'll see you around.
I'm a little busy, but what do you need?
Yes, my friend.
Any luck working out who my secret admirer is?
Yes.
Should we get moving?
Heard you got to kill those looters. Get out of my face. My problem is that I'm the only one around here whose head isn't buried in the sand. That's my problem. I mean, everyone acts like nothing's wrong, but we're one stupid mistake away from being wiped out, like the last lot of people who lived here. Seems like I'm the only one ready for what's coming, whatever that is. And when it hits, it's every man for himself. You've been warned. Uh-huh.
Can I help you with something? See you later. Yes, it is. Where did you find it? A skeever? You mean she's dead? Oh gods. She's dead, isn't she? I need to see her one last time. Can you show me where she is? Oh yes, of course. Maybe it's best if I don't. I don't know if I have the stomach for it. Oh gods. All this time. Please, at least tell me how she died. Do you think the skeever killed her, or did it get to her after she was already dead? No way of knowing. Gods, this is going to haunt me for the rest of my life. I think I need to be alone now.
Just out for an evening stroll. Not a soul stirring. Quintus, my name is Marius. You must have the wrong person. And perhaps you're not as stupid as you look. Well done, you found me. Now, what do you want? My family? Ha! The Dark Brotherhood likes to use terms like family, but they don't know the meaning of the word. They're still holding a grudge because I left them, you see. They don't like it when people leave them. It makes them look ineffectual. Say, do you happen to know whether anyone else knows I'm here? That is excellent news. Hopefully it will be the last we hear of them. Now, what's it going to take for you to keep this quiet, hmm? Pathetic. I'm done talking to you. Get out of here.
ready to get moving?
Of course I'm too tired. After I rest my eyes for a moment.
Welcome to Firefly. Yes. Have you... That's it. Oh, thank you. I know it's only a ring, but it feels like I've got part of my son back. It's a good feeling. Now, I know I promised you a reward. So here's a little something for your troubles. No, I don't. But I'd wager that if anyone does know a way out, it's the Jarl. But of course, if he told anyone, he'd be ruling over an empty...
Hello, neighbor. Made any exciting? Hello, neighbor. Made any... Very well. Come back if you think of any questions about something you discover.
Did I ever tell you what my name means in the old Mary? That's because I have no idea.
What do you want?
You.
Was that?
After them.
Away with you, dog! You'll be but another notch in my hammer! Die, damn you! Let's get this over with! I just love this story. The passion, the character. Die, Victor! Victory will be mine! wet.